This is a quick update on a bit more depth on how we utilize AI in the process. So we use it to support ideation in the creation of the questions. It's only a support there because most of the questions are really driven by the customer and what they critically need to know for their strategy. But it can help formulate those and give another voice. Respondent sourcing and screening. So yeah, there are increasing tools that you can use on things like LinkedIn and other databases that help you to identify and reach out to potential respondents more efficiently, because that's a huge time take within these projects. AI transcription and summarization. I think we all know how what a lifesaver that is in the process of any project. We've all seen it on our Zoom calls, etc., and it works just as well for research interviews. One of the things that we do increasingly is pull all the data that we've gathered in a consulting project, be it interview transcripts, be it documents, be it our own ideas, and put them into a single kind of folder within a tool such as Notebook LM, and then run questions specifically against that data set through AI. And that allows you to interrogate all the information that you've found as a specific data set relating to the project more effectively, much faster and more effectively than the old process of kind of trawling through it, looking for quotes, looking for examples, looking for ideas, etc. And then obviously in terms of delivery, Canva, Power BI, in terms of presenting the data, presenting the conceptual graphics are extremely powerful and big time savers. Next slide, please. Moving on to that presentation part. Presentation and thinking through of the information that you've gathered in order to turn it from information into strategy. Some of the key conceptual frameworks that you'll be looking to use when you're looking at your competitors. So 4Ps benchmarking. So taking the key strategic levers, product, price, placement, etc., and benchmarking your competitors on each of those factors, I think is a very good, clear way to give a high level understanding of your competitive environment. BCG is a very good visual metric and makes you understand which competitors you need to be concerned about for what types of threats, etc., and which ones provide opportunities. So which, based on cross-referencing their size and their growth, etc. VRIO Analysis is going more into the fundamentals of your competitors and really trying to understand where they have competitive advantages and disadvantages based on their core capabilities, and that again can help you doing the same. Comparing that with doing the same exercise for yourself allows you to get more clarity on where the strategic sweet spot may be for you. SWOT, I know, is often sort of rather derided as a conceptual framework, but it still has strengths and is the most kind of obvious framework to keep updated on a specific competitor in a clear and understandable format that everybody knows and potentially so that's useful as a shorthand. And then there's a forward-looking SWOT as well, which can be more strategic. And then value chain analysis, so looking at and we'll come back to this in one of the case studies in a minute, is not just benchmarking your competitors on the basis of their products or services or strategy, but right down into the details of how they're executing all the way through their value chain, is something that can create strategic opportunities, or can highlight strategic opportunities that you wouldn't find if you're just looking at the high level product analysis. I think this is pretty clear that there are lots of factors that drive the effectiveness of competitive intelligence, and I think these things to some extent have to be balanced. You can't have all of these things all of the time, but you need to prioritize what's most important at different points. So I think depth research at these key decision-making points, timeliness of research on the ongoing kind of monitoring of your competitors, objectivity to try and make sure that you've got real clarity on the objectivity of information when you're finalizing decisions, but not necessarily when you're picking up signals. Similar for accuracy. Readability, I guess, is important where you're trying to communicate the strategy to your internal clients and above you, and consistency, making in terms of ensuring that there are a set of metrics that you're tracking consistently, so that you're able to see where change is occurring.